بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسوله النبي الكريم وعلى آله أصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Whoever have joined the session will be joining later. I'm very glad to be here with Dr. Burhan. And he has given me time. I'm very, very thankful to him for coming for this special webinar on Sukuk Financing for Development and Infrastructural Projects, propose several Sukuk structures. This session is free for public to join. The recording will be available on YouTube, can see later. And let me just a brief introduction. Most of you have already know Dr. Burhan have the highest citations and research work done in Islamic finance industry. Dr. Burhan Uluyol is currently an associate professor of Department of Islamic Economics and Finance of Istanbul Sabahattin Nizam University. Recently, he earned an outstanding Young Researcher Award by Turkey Academy of Science. Previously, he was full-time associate and associate professor as an assistant professor of Institute of Islamic Banking and Finance and International of the International Islamic University, Malaysia. Thank you very much, Dr. Burhan. I am very glad, very inspired by your working as an activist for our Uyghur brothers and sisters, for whatever they are facing at the moment. People are with you. They understand the pain. They understand the need altogether. So I'm very honored to have you here, and I look forward to have a wonderful session with you. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to everyone. You make me a little bit emotional. As you know, it's not easy task for me actually last few years, especially I'm handling both academia and also, as you mentioned, I think is you make me very emotional actually. Anyway, thanks for the nice introduction actually, and also it is thanks for inviting me to deliver a topic on the sukuk actually, and also I thank the participants as well actually. Mashallah, I'm not expecting that much participants actually, and also thanks for supporting me, my ex-student as well as some friends and so on and so forth. So today I just try to share my limited knowledge on sukuk actually. As you know, the sukuk is one of the cornerstone of the Islamic finance actually. When you're talking about the Islamic finance, most of the people concentrating the Islamic banking actually. And as you know, there are many different issues in Islamic banking industry as well, in terms of pricing, in terms of benchmarking interest rate, and so on and so forth. But we cannot forget that actually another important component will be sukuk. That will be one of the important component of the Islamic finance actually. So meaning that is Islamic finance is beyond the Islamic banking. Okay, it will be include like sukuk, Sharia compliance stocks, as well as like what they call Islamic social finance. I mean, there are many other different important components as well. So we admit that actually there are many different issues in Islamic banking, but in my opinion, there will be lesser issues or like small issues in the sukuk actually. Okay, so today let me share with you my limited knowledge on the sukuk actually. As we know, maybe most of you know what's the sukuk actually, but there will be some problematic sukuk structures as well actually. So in my presentation, the first I have to spell out what are the issues I mean in the current what they call the sukuk structures. Then after that I will show like few and the model like how, I mean, what they call Islamic, the sukuk can be used as like Islamic finance tools for the developmental and infrastructural products of the Muslim world actually. Okay, so just now I think is Brother Ahsan has already introduced me. So now I'm currently associate professor at Department of Islamic Economics and Finance in Istanbul Sabahattin Nizam University actually. Okay, so what are the current issues as you know, the world is facing excessive level of the debt. Okay, level of the debt. So meaning that most of the countries is, I mean, including the Turkey as well, especially, I mean, what they call the Muslim world, they are facing many problems actually. So there is not much room for more debt financing, meaning that, I mean, already is enough. Okay, so rising interest rate environment and the pausing and several cause for the constant build up the debt. So meaning that we already have the build up the debt, but interest rate is increasing. If interest rates increasing more and more, then I mean, what they call the indebted, they have to pay more to the debtor actually. So equity financing is not option for the government. As you know, I mean, the government is cannot issue the stocks or equities actually. It will be very expensive. So they need to explore the solution without the leverage, okay, and also move away from our reliance on the debt. So meaning that we have to find out some innovative structures actually. I mean what they call we have to away from the debt, and also what they call is some viable option for governmental projects actually. Okay, so Baka and Morocco, okay, in 2018, in order to fund the development infrastructure, okay, the most of the Muslim world suffer from external debt. Okay, unfortunately, most of the Muslim countries actually borrow from China as well. Now, after you borrow from China, you cannot pay. You cannot repay the debt. Some countries already face some challenges. For example, I mean, demanding the port of the Sri Lanka, for example, or airport of the Pakistan, or the land of the Africa, and so on and so forth. So, meaning that, I mean, what they call is there will be huge and a problem suffer from external debt. Even though those countries need substantial development infrastructure, actually, they cannot fund them domestically due to the inadequate resources. Okay, therefore, this government often borrow from foreign currencies. Okay, foreign currencies, meaning that they're borrowing in dollar, for example, or international financial institutions like IMF. Okay, IMF and foreign countries, meaning that here referring to especially China actually, and also international financial institutions. They're borrowing countries facing numerous and challenges. Okay, actually all of this happened to in Turkey as well actually. Okay, the fluctuation of the home currencies while borrowing denominated in the foreign currencies. Okay, and also leverage and economic fluctuation of the country increase due to such borrowings as well. Okay, and also those countries face commodity price vulnerability as well due to the heavy reliance on commodity exports. Okay, so these are the issues if we borrow from foreign countries or what they call these international financial institutions actually. So they argued that, I mean, the Baka and the Morocco argued that the recent innovation of the Sukuk or the Islamic bond can be reduced such external borrowing, leverage, and vulnerability. So next few slides, actually, I will explain how the Sukuk can help. I mean, what they call is reduce such borrowing, leverage, and vulnerability. We try to look at, I mean, the principle of Islamic finance. Of course, most of you are interested in Islamic finance, and also these are the project features actually. Okay, I'm not going to read like one by one. I mean, to waste your time actually. Maybe later on I can share with my slide with Ahsan. So brother Ahsan maybe can share with the participants with the presentation slides as well actually. So meaning that, I mean, what they call is the features of Islamic finance, for example, return linked to the earnings. Okay, so meaning that actually is projects allowing to share the risk among the partners actually. Okay, financier, I mean, in the project, I mean, become the partners. Okay, I mean, not like the lenders, it should be the partners. So project design it to the financier to the partners, not just lenders as well. So it's like matching. Okay, transaction should be free from speculation and gambling. Projects actually, governmental project or developmental project actually, I mean, free from speculation or gambling. So existence of uncertainty or looseness of the contract is prohibited. The project is generally well defined with no uncertainty. Okay, I mean, like a lump sum or the 10K and so on and so forth actually. So investment in alcohol, drug and the gambling, weapons or other what they call prohibited activities are not permitted. As you know, the development infrastructure typically excluding these areas. So meaning that, I mean, these are the features of Islamic finance, these are the features of the project, there will be like perfect matching actually. So meaning that, I mean, what they call is, it's possible to have some innovative, what they call is solution from Islamic finance perspective actually. Okay, so when you talk about the sukuk actually, okay, sukuk structures actually, in my opinion, okay, in my I mean, what they call is based on my knowledge actually, the sukuk can be designed with three different ways actually. One of them called sale based, partnership based, and also it can be like agent based actually. Like three, I mean, the broad categories actually. Under three broad categories actually, there can be, I mean, what they call ijara, murabaha, istisna, salam. For example, this four can be categorized under what they call sale based or rental based actually. Later on I will explain I mean some of them like one by one, inshallah. Okay, so meaning that this four can be under sale based or rental based actually. Okay, sale based or what they call is rental based. And of course, musharaka and the mudaraba, it can be based on partnership based actually. Okay, it's partnership based, and also there will be wakala based sukuk as well actually. So meaning that these are the popular sukuk structures in the world actually, like including ijara, murabaha, wakala, istisna, salam, musharaka, and also like mudaraba actually. But I mean, in terms of the outcome or based on what they call is this I mean the nature of the transactions actually, we can categorize into sale based, partnership based, and also agency based actually. So this will be the three broad categories of sukuk. Okay, so when what they call is being in the structured products actually, sukuk, I mean, depending on several factors as well, of course. I mean, they have to comply with underlying Sharia contract. Okay, this will be, I mean, it's important as well. And also risk profile actually. Risk profile meaning that, as you know, sale based will be less riskier than partnership based, or wakala is less riskier than partnership based as well actually. So meaning that depending on the risk profile as well, and also the cash flows. Okay, cash flows, of course, I mean, when you come to the sale and what they call ijara based actually, the cash flow will be fixed. But it comes to mudaraba or musharaka, the cash flow cannot be fixed, for example. So meaning that this will be what kind of the cash flow do you want actually. And of course, the most important thing is potential market acceptance of the sukuk as well. Maybe many people say, okay, we want to mudaraba or musharaka, but how many people willing to invest in the mudaraba and the musharaka sukuk, for example? Okay, so meaning that the potential market acceptance of the sukuk will be another important considerations as well, actually. Okay, so now let me explain this one first, actually. Asset-based sukuk structure, actually. This one I call like problematic sukuk structure. Why I call problematic, later on I will explain, actually. Okay, so in this sukuk structures, actually, what they call is, let's look at the structure their student, sorry, their participants, sorry for that. Okay, their participants, I mean, what they call the one who want to issue the sukuk, for example. Okay, I mean, this party, I mean, what they call want to issue the sukuk. Then they have to pledge the asset first. Okay, meaning that they have to have the asset first. Okay, first, then after that, based on this asset, they will issue asset-based sukuk. They issue the sukuk, okay, and the sukuk investors, they will pay to the SPV, then money goes to the mudarib or the originator, the money goes to there. Okay, then after that, what they call is they have to pay like periodic payment, sorry. okay, project payment. Then after that, the project payment distributed to what they call is like the Sukuk investors as dividend. Okay, I just want to ask actually anyone, can you share your opinion? It will be good, like at least a little bit interactive rather than a one-side communication actually. Anyone here, can you tell me, is there any problem in the structure? Anyone? Oh, there are 60 participants actually. MashaAllah. Thank you. Thanks for supporting this events as well. Anyone, any message? Okay. Yeah. Okay. If you don't have, okay, there's, I mean, I hope that you understand the structure actually. Basically, okay, Abdul Qadir, okay. Yes, you can talk, Abdul Qadir.
Okay, hello. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Yeah, my view is that regarding the asset-based sukuk structures, what I feel that the real ownership of that asset-based of sukuk is not a belong of the to the sukuk investor, because so any sukuk structures, the ownership of the investor must have the absolute right to the underlying asset of the sukuk. In an asset-based sukuk structure, the ownership of that underlying asset is not belong to the investor. To the investor means that the investor, they are not have absolute right on that underlying asset of the sukuk. So this one, in my view, is that it will contradict to the Sharia view, because any property that we want to invest, the ownership, the investor must have absolute right in that underlying asset of sukuk. So that is my view.
Thank you, brother. Okay, maybe just one more, Ibrahim. I allow you to talk, Ibrahim. Wait, Ibrahim. Yes, Ibrahim. Can you talk, Ibrahim?
I've already talked. Yes, I've already
Oh, sorry,
talked.
you are Ibrahim
yes,
just now. Okay, I
yes,
thought it's
I'm not
Abdul Qadir. Sorry.
No, yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good. I think brother Ibrahim is sharing his opinion as well. I mean, his basic points actually, the Sukuk investors actually not rail the owners of these pledged assets actually. I think that is his main and the point, because I mean, even though the company putting the asset, okay, pledged asset, then they're selling the issues and so on and so forth. So good, you see. I mean, let me repeat one more time. Okay, for that, I mean, there will be, you see, what they call is these Sukuk structures, for example, okay, in Mudarib, who is the originator or the borrower who need the money basically. First, they have to establish the SPS, special purpose vehicle. Then the originator injecting or transfer the asset become underlying asset of the Sukuk, okay, to the newly established and the SPV. Since we need the collateral for the Sukuk is SPV's asset, the Sukuk is an asset securities, okay? I mean, the servicing of the needed Sukuk payment, the investors made by the SPV from the payment it received from the Mudarib, I mean, by using the what they call is use of the assets actually. So basically is they try to explain the Sukuk structures actually. So I mean, what I want to say here actually is I partially agree with what they call brother Ibrahim as well, but there will be two important issues actually, okay, and problematic issues actually. Yes, maybe one of them is partially Ibrahim is right, and also Taki Osmani actually, if you remember in 2017 or 18, if you remember actually, the 80% Sukuk in the market is non-Sharia compliant. Okay, you can check, and his article, if I'm not mistaken, 2017 or 18, he said that 80% what they call Sukuk in the market are not Sharia compliant. Because of what actually? Actually, you see, the Mudarib they sell the asset first. Okay, sell the asset first. Then after that, at maturity, they have to buy back the asset. Okay, buy back the asset. Buy back the asset, meaning that they have to sell, they have to buy back. So this is kind of like deferred bay-al-ina. So meaning that they will sell first. Maybe, as you know, in the normal bay-al-ina, actually, you sell and buy back immediately. But this one will be you sell the asset first, then you buy back. Let's say the maturity sukuk is 5 years, and the 5 years later you will buy back the sukuk. So this I call this one deferred bay-al-ina. Okay, and the second problem will be repurchase obligations. So just now, as Ibrahim said, the sukuk investors cannot sell the asset to any parties. Okay, meaning that, I mean, what they call is mudarib, they have to buy back the asset at the maturity. So there will be repurchase obligations, actually. Repurchase obligation, meaning that, I mean, actually, anyone can do this, whoever has the asset, actually, pledge the asset, issue the sukuk, and after 5 years later, what they call is just has to buy back the asset. So this will be the two important issues. One of them will be deferred bay-al-ina, and second one will be repurchase obligation. I mean, what they call is at maturity. Okay, so this one. Now, let's look at another sukuk structures. It is similar, dear student. Okay, it's very similar, but huge and the differences, actually. Let's say I call like this, actually. Let me show to you. Anyway, let's look at this one, dear student. This called ijara-based sukuk structures. Okay, just now this one is they call asset-based and sukuk structures, for example. Now, how about this? Let's say there is a company, for example, airline companies. Okay, airlines company, let's say Turkish Airlines or Qatar Airlines or and so on and so forth. So this is the airlines companies, for example. Let's say they need Airbuses. Okay, Airbuses. Meaning that they have to purchase an Airbuses, for example. Now, in this situation, the company, they don't have money to buy. Okay, and also their real intention is to buy this asset. Okay, so please try to understand it. I mean, this one, they have asset. They have the asset, but they don't have the money. So using the asset, they are what they call is raising the fund. But in this situation, they don't have the money, they don't have the asset, but the intention is to buy and something from the manufacturer, actually. Okay, then of course, I mean, the companies, they have to set up the SPV. Then they issue the sukuk. Issue the sukuk, meaning that the purpose of issuing the sukuk is to purchase this Airbuses from this manufacturer. Okay, from this manufacturers. So that meaning that after issuing the sukuk investor giving the money to the SPV, then I mean using that money to purchase these Airbuses. Or this, what they call is whatever, like heavy machineries, or like it can be Airbuses, or it can be like, very huge and the tangible asset, for example. Then after that, we are renting this asset to the companies. Now, coming back to the Ibrahim just now said, now in this situation, the asset is, real owners will be the sukuk investors. Okay, sukuk investors. So meaning that now the sukuk investors renting this Airbuses to the airlines, for example. Then the airlines paying the project and the payment. Okay, project payment. Then the payment they can pay like ijara payment to the sukuk and the holders. So just now that two problems disappear. The deferred bay-al-ina is disappear from the structures. Okay, and also the repurchase obligation also disappear. And also the intention is to buy the asset. Okay, but here they just merely using the asset, they're raising the fund. But in the situation is, the real intention is to buy what they call is the the asset from the vendor or from the manufacturers actually. So this is, two different, very similar sukuk structures, but this one would be more preferable from Islamic perspective actually. Okay, so let me continue actually. Okay, let me continue. Then end of the presentation, I think we can open up more room for discussions actually. Okay, I hope that what they call is following me actually. So I call Murabaha Sukuk or BBA Sukuk actually. What they call, you see, this one actually, you see, dear participant, please pay attention here as well. You see, this one, what they call is quite interesting actually. One option, we can rent this one to this company, or we can sell. The second option will be sell this one to, let's say we bought it for 5 million, for example, just example, okay? But we are just selling for 6 million, for example. Then they can pay like they buy the installment, for example. So if we are renting this one, we call ijara-based sukuk. If we sell it, okay, with some like installment, then we can say murabaha or BBA sukuk. Actually, maybe some of you is very new to Islamic finance. Actually, murabaha will be cost plus, what they call is, the contract in Islamic finance. Murabaha meaning that, let's say, we bought it for 6 million, but we are selling for 6 million, for example. So this one will be the murabaha. Actually, BBA, just like installment. If you want to translate this one into English, I translate like this: long-term murabaha with installment. Okay, with installment actually. So that's why you have to understand that what is the main differences. If ijara, we are renting. If it is murabaha, we are selling this asset to the companies. Okay, thank you. So in the murabaha or BBA sukuk, mudarib who's originator, you see, seeking the funding for purchase of needed asset. You see, dear participant, this will be needed asset. Through the issuance of the sukuk, again, the issuer will be the SPV, which is the legal owner of the asset. You see, just now what they call is Ibrahim, whatever said is come true here as well. So SPV use, see, the proceeds from the sukuk insurance actually pay the manufacturers for the asset needed by the mudarib. Once receiving the payment from SPV, the vendor deliver asset to the mudarib. So mudarib will be obliged to pay SPV purchase. You see their student price plus the profit or the market. So this will, some will be paid as annuities of the installment. So this is the differences. The basic differences will be you are renting or you are selling, dear participant. Okay. Thank you for this. Okay, so murabaha or BBA sukuk, the project list payment passed to the SPV to the sukuk investors as like sukuk and the cash flows or the return actually. So in Malaysia, for example, many Islamic scholars actually uneasy with, okay, like BBA structures, the fixed of the payment and also predetermined cash flows and the constant from Sharia viewpoint actually. Okay, so following much criticism, Middle East scholars or investors, what they call is BBA structure is not popular as it once was. Okay, so but of course, what I want to say here is this structure is better than this sukuk structure. This one actually you have the asset, but you just manipulate your transactions, but your real intention is not selling the asset. You want to use the asset, you want to raise some funding actually. But these structures will be, our intention is to buy what they call the assets. Okay, so this will be on that. Now is what they call is, just now also I mentioned that this one I think is I already explained dear participants. Here actually is what they call is, this is the ijara structure. but this one will be murabaha and the structure. It's the same actually. What they call is here, I mean what they call is need to sell the assets actually. Not the rent, the previous one is rent, but this one will be and sell. Actually, I already explained these issues actually. Okay, so the asset set up SPVs, they have to set up SPVs, and they have to issue what they call is like PB based and sukuk. They have to pay. Then after the payment, they will buy the asset from manufacturers. Then they will sell to them. I mean, of course, cost plus and the profit. Okay, cost plus and the profit. Then they will sell to what they call is mudarib. This one I already explained just now as well. Now, I want to give this one as example, dear participant. Actually, if what they call is, remember, there was, I mean, in the 1998, there is what they call is, I mean, one of the financial crisis, one of the surf and financial crisis in Southeast Asia, actually. So after this financial crisis, many countries like Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, and most of the countries, they borrow from IMF. Now, until today, they are paying to IMF as well. But only the country didn't borrow from IMF is Malaysia, actually. So how the Malaysia is, I mean, solve this, what they call the problem, then they issued what they call is Government Malaysia Sukuk of 2001. Actually, this is the first and sovereign sukuk by the Malaysian government, known as Malaysian Global Sukuk, was issued as a sum of 600 million with the maturities 2007. So it issued for 6 years actually, from 2001 until 2007. Based on the Ijara contract, the Sukuk provided undivided beneficial ownership of 4 land parcels that been placed in the trust. So meaning that the land is belong to the government, they will put at the trust actually. So land parcels were sold by the government to the SPV, then leased back to the government in the semi-return for semi-annual lease payments. Actually, this one is very similar to the first and the structures. These structures actually. So this is the government. Okay, this is the Malaysian government. Then they will what they call is pledge the 4 parcel of the land. Then they issue the sukuk. Then the investor, they have to give the money. Then the money passed to the what they call is the government. Then the government, they have to pay the project payment. Then the project payment given to the sukuk investors. Even though this one is problematic, little bit problematic in sense that the government, they have to buy back the land from the investors, but at least they didn't borrow from the external and that from the other countries or other, what they call is international monetary institutions actually. Okay, so what happened? This lease payment determined based on the LIBOR as a reference rate. Then the payment like 6 months LIBOR plus 0.95. Is implying that if 6 months LIBOR is like, let's say 5%, then the return will be, because it's semi-annual, divided by 2, multiplied by 600 million, then each year they are distributing almost like 18 million to the investors actually. Okay, so listed for the trading Luxembourg Stock Exchange, Sukuk was the first and comply with all need regulation to be tradable internationally. Okay, essentially it complied with the needed regulation for the conventional bond to be listed and traded internationally. So this sukuk was also the first asset-based rather than asset-backed sukuk. Just now also I already explained their participants actually. Okay, so this is how the Malaysian government didn't borrow from IMF or didn't borrow from foreign countries, but using the sukuk, what they call is raising the fund for the Malaysian government. Okay, so let me explain after this. Then after that, I will move to the one of the innovative and the sukuk and the structures actually. Then after that, I think maybe another 10 minutes or 10 minutes. Bear with me. Then after that, we will go to Q&A sessions, inshallah. Okay, so Wakala, of course. Wakala become also now is one of the what they call is popular sukuk structures actually. Why? Because you no need to have the asset, you no need to have this, you no need to have that, you just become the agent. I give you money, you are managing my money. So that's why the sukuk wakala actually become more what they call is popular. So in typical what they call sukuk wakala structures, actually the oblige or the issuer, okay, or the wakil or the agent of the sukuk holders, the agent what they call is taxed with using the sukuk proceed to invest in the specific project or the businesses, managing it and providing the return to the sukuk holders based on the return of the investment. So the wakala or agency agreement specifying the arrangement, actually. So basically is there will be the agent, there will be the sukuk holders. So the agent become the agent of the sukuk holders, then the agent is managing the business. Then after that, if any return, the return is shared between among the sukuk holders, actually. So the oblige would be entitled to either fixed or variable fee from the profit from the investment. So the oblige is entitled to enter into another contract like mudaraba or ijara, okay, with the other parties in the cost of undertaking or managing the investment, actually. So wakala contract late become very popular because of the flexibilities, actually. Okay, so this is, I'm not going to explain with the modus operandi, actually, because it's very straight and forward, actually. Okay, so this is, what they call is our proposed sukuk structures. Okay, this will be maybe you cannot find anywhere in the literature. Maybe this is something is we providing as what they call is something innovative. Okay, so just now, as you mentioned, the government only can issue debt. Okay, can only issue the debt or the bond, basically the government bond, but they cannot issue equities, actually. Okay, equities. But now, especially the Muslim countries borrowing, a lot from the foreign countries as well, or the foreign, what they call international financial institutions, actually. Okay, so that would be the problematic. Now, how we going to solve this problem? Okay, problem. Now, let's say, for example, maybe I'm taking this one, Turkey as example. I explain, for example, there would be one of the, what they call is, the famous project now, Kanal Istanbul, for example. Okay, Kanal Istanbul. So Kanal Istanbul is become one of the, what they call is a favorite and a project. It's not started yet, but what they call is, it going to be an implement. For example, it can be any governmental project, actually. Any governmental project. Okay, governmental project, or it can be infrastructure development, or it will be for, it has to be for the government one, actually. So meaning that, as we know, actually, this is I call construction period. Okay, construction period, meaning that, let's say, in order to build any project, it takes time, actually. Okay, it takes time. Then after that, once the project is completed, then they're generating revenue, for example. Okay, so this part called, I say, mudaraba. Okay, I call this part as mudaraba. This one I call istisna, actually. Okay, istisna. So meaning that what they call is istisna sukuk. Okay, istisna sukuk, and this one will be, let's say, like mudaraba, actually. Okay, is mudaraba. So meaning that government need to determine how to fund the needed and the fund, actually. Okay, meaning that how to fund the needed fund, meaning that how to get the money, basically. So could issues like 10 years convertible istisna mudaraba sukuk. Why istisna mudaraba? Why convertible, for example? You see, this one little bit complicated. Convertible, meaning that at maturity, you have option to convert. You want to get back the cash, also can, but if you want to convert into stocks, also can, actually. So that's why we call this one convertible istisna mudaraba. Why istisna? Construction period. Why mudaraba? We are sharing the profit. Why convertible? At maturity, we have option to convert into the cash or the stocks, actually. So convertible Islamic instrument with the constructions and the profit and the loss sharing and the contract. Now let's look at this one, dear participants. first year, for example, first to 3 years, I call this one stage 1. We call this one the stage 1. The government, and also there will be sukuk holders, for example. So maybe they pledge the asset or the land. As you know, the land is belong to the government. Okay, land is belong to the government, so they can pledge the land, establish the SPV. So underlying asset can be the land, or they can providing some seed fund, like minimum fund actually, and the rights is provided by the government. Okay, government. Then they can issue like sukuk and mudaraba, meaning that after completed the project, they're going to share the profit be generated from that and the project actually. So meaning that issue this one, then the issuer give the money. When they give the money, this money used for project financing. Okay, project financing. Send the project contractor. I mean, what they call is constructing their project actually. Okay, it's a project. Then this will be first 3 years actually. Then after that, stage 2, year to 4. So now, alhamdulillah, let's say the project is completed, successfully is completed. Now they are giving what they call is, generating some money from that and the project. For example, the Canal Istanbul, of course, if it's completed, Canal Istanbul is generating, some cash flows actually. If this cash flows actually, then after that, what we are going to do, share between the government and the sukuk holders. So meaning that the government, they will get it according to the shares, and also the sukuk holders, also they will get it according to their, their participations as well actually. Okay, so revenue generation and distributions actually. Then after that, like end of the 10 years actually. So meaning that what they call is they want to go for like public listed companies. Okay, public listed companies. So the IPOs, what they call is listed, then they have to the IPO and process. So as I said just now, you have option. You have to return the sukuk. You must return the sukuk, but you have the 2 options. You want to get back the cash, or you want to get the stocks actually. Okay, you want stocks. So basically is we are converting our sukuk into the stocks actually. Okay, so meaning that you have option to get back the cash, or you want to get the stocks. Government also same, you want to get back the cash, or you want to get back the stocks. So end of the 10 years, it become public listed and the companies. Then after that, the post IPOs will be, the government, they can receive annual dividend. This, the shareholders, because there is no more sukuk holders actually, it becomes shareholders. They can share the annual and the dividend actually. Okay, so this is kind of like rather than borrowing from like any parties actually, this would be like possible and suggestion for a governmental project or developmental and the projects actually. Okay, the issues and the challenges of the sukuk actually. The issues of the partnership sukuk, of course, has popular in the capital market in past years. Okay, mudaraba sukuk, or its equity-based sukuk structures, where the profit and the loss, shared between the parties as well. So, however, there are like several instruments like fixed product return or the sukuk guarantee their principal amount to the sukuk holders. So this become more popular rather than equity-based and the sukuk. So Islamic scholars who oppose Bay al-Ina believe that the contract is planned agreement. The first one I show it to you actually, planned agreement, which is created by the parties themselves actually. So end of the agreement, one party will obtain immediate cash against the future obligations and starting at the higher amount. It seems to be that both parties have no intention to commit the sale and the contract. This is we are referring to the first one I explained in my presentation actually. And the use of the asset as any customer, it does actually. And also repurchase obligation, just now also actually this statement from Taqi Osmani as well, repurchase obligation, take the sukuk is unacceptable from Islamic and the perspective. So murabaha sukuk is really asset based or merely asset backed actually. Okay, so you have to understand that. So I already explained both. One of them is like real asset based and another one is merely asset. Okay, so this will be some issues and the challenges. So recommendation will be issuing what they call the sukuk for real needs, actually, not just merely fundraising application by not merely fundraising by application of the controversial contract such as Bay Alina, Bay Aldain, or etc. Increase the partnership base and the contract. Just now, so I mentioned they call istisna mudaraba, convertible istisna mudaraba sukuk, for example. Okay, sukuk projects can be designed the way that finances to the partners, not just and the lenders, and allowing the risk to be shared between among the parties. Okay, sukuk must issue based on real needs. Okay, such as development and infrastructure project, not just merely fundraising activities by using manipulated and assets, actually. Okay, and also it's issued not only for institutional investors. It should encourage public participations as well by offering similar denominations. Nowadays, actually, the par value of the sukuk is very huge, like 500,000 Saudi Riyal or like 500,000 Malaysian ringgit. You know, it is quite expensive, actually. So we should encouraging the public participation as well by offering similar denominations, actually. Okay, so that will be end of my presentation.
Jazakallah, thank you very much, Dr. Burhan, for your time. And then the people who have joined, you can type in chat. Anybody, I think they are typing in chat. I see somebody is typing in chat. All right. Is comments for you, Dr. Burhan?
Yeah, I saw it, some comments. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Maybe if you have, as requested, our okay. Okay, I will send you the slide so you can share the slides with the participants, inshallah. Maybe next meeting, you know, now I really surprised you managed very well, actually. I have very what they call is like the gist of Islamic finance, you know, how it's different from Islam. I mean, maybe I can give one more time, maybe 1 month later, you know, another what they call is talk. Actually, that one also it become very popular, actually, because most of my students also a postgraduate student, of course, master and PhD student, they like it so much because many people, they don't know the clear differences between Islamic finance. Of course, interest is one of the issues, but I mean, I need more clarification on the sukuk. Okay. So actually, sukuk basically is like the bonds. I mean, what they call is, let's say the government is, for example, they need the money, actually, basically. See, you have to understand that actually government can only issue that, cannot issue equities, but the companies can issue equities, can issue bonds as well, actually. So basically is what they call is we are what they call is making like acceptable from Islamic, because the bond, okay, me this way, it's good question, actually, ask as well for the basic layman's, actually. What they call, why, I mean, from the bond, the return is, I mean, not acceptable from Sharia perspective, because the return coming purely from interest. So that's why it is not acceptable from Islamic perspective. But when you come to sukuk, it is structured similar to the bond, but the return is coming from the real asset, or it's coming from the underlying asset. So meaning that not is coming from the interest rate, actually. So basically is in the sukuk, basically you can call sukuk as Islamic bond or the Islamic version of the bonds, actually, but the return is coming from the underlying asset, or like from the generation from that asset, not coming from the interest rate, actually. Thank you. I hope that you got it. Could you explain differences between? Okay, actually, very good question as well. This question also I'm expecting from someone to ask, actually. It is very good questions, actually. Now let me, okay, let me, where is my, Okay, let me share. Very, very good questions, actually. I'm expecting someone to ask this question. Actually, good, brother, but I just want to explain this one one more time. Actually, put me this way. Okay, very good question, actually. I'm expecting question, actually. You see. Good. In the literature also, people is confused, okay, regarding what they call is, this one, okay, asset-based or asset-backed, actually, okay, but that's why in the literature also is confused. But in my opinion, okay, sorry, this should be, in my opinion, okay, asset backed, actually. This structure will be, sorry, I did that mistake. In my opinion, this will be asset backed. Asset backed meaning that you have the asset, but your intention is not to sell your asset, but you want to use your asset, you want to raise the money. Okay, so in my opinion, but of course in the literature also many people is confused, actually. To me, this one would be asset backed, actually. Okay, asset backed, but asset based will be, okay, asset based will be, but it's not important. The terminology is not important, but you have to understand the differences, actually. To me, this one will be asset based. Asset based meaning that our intention is to buy the asset. Okay, not to manipulating the transaction, we want to buy the asset. So our main intention will be to buy this the asset, actually. So to me, this one would be asset based, this one would be asset backed. Okay, so meaning that, put me this way, my brother. Okay, so the asset backed will be, you already have the asset, so you want to sell the asset and you want to get the money, you know. So this would be called like manipulated and transactions, actually. But this one is, our intention is to buy the asset. So I call this one as asset based. This one I call asset backed, actually. Okay, but some people, this one the asset based, this another one is asset backed. So depending on what they call how you want to, but the most important thing is you just understand the two different structures. This one is already have the asset. This one is you don't have the asset. You have an intention to buy the asset. Okay, that's all, actually. But it's good expected questions, actually. Very good. Thank you. Any other one? Thanks from Dar es Salaam. Alhamdulillah. My country is working on some Sukuk. I want to learn more about Sukuk. Amazing presentation. Thank you. Thank you so much, Abdurrahman. Good. I wish to learn the knowledge and privately from you. Alhamdulillah. Thank you. Wonderful presentation. Okay. Thank you a lot. Thank you. Big thank you, TAIF. Okay. Very good. Alhamdulillah. I think it's a good comments, actually. So as I said, Ahsan, maybe for next meeting, inshallah, I have something called what are the silent features of the Islamic banking and the finance, actually. Maybe I can share with some participants again, you know, because first you have to appreciate first what are you doing, actually. If you don't appreciate what are you doing, it is something is not really appreciating, actually. So you have to appreciate first. So alhamdulillah, most of the students taking my courses, they do believe there is Islamic finance, but how to do it also, it's important, actually. Okay. Okay, so please share this presentations as well. I will share with you, brother. Okay. If you don't have any questions, then inshallah, in maybe 1 month later, you know, maybe again, maybe it can be like Saturday again. Okay, I will share with you what are the silent features of Islamic economics and finance. Thank you, Hassan.
Dr. Burhan, you want to take another question live, or if you don't have time?
Sure, I have time, no problem, actually.
Brother,
Yusuf,
you can unmute yourself.
Yusuf.
Brother Yusuf, you can unmute yourself, Brother Yusuf. Right. We have Brother Khalid Yusuf.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, Dr. Burhan, thank you for the appealing presentation. It's really very constructive. And to be honest, I know Dr. Burhan personally. He used to be one of my professor.
Are
And
you
so
that Yusuf? Are you Dr. Yusuf?
yes, sir.
Mashallah, mashallah. Where are you now?
I am sitting in Istanbul.
Mashallah, mashallah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So thank you for the presentation, sir. I have just one question with reference to the first Sukuk structure, which is the asset-based Sukuk. So my question is, as you have said, that some of the issues in this structure that the originator would repurchase the Sukuk, which is basically will be contradicting with some of the basic Islamic principle. So my question was asking, if imagine the originator would like to buy the asset at the market values, so would this be still under the controversial, or what is your thought? That's my question, sir.
Okay, I got your point actually. Now, even though this structure, you are saying that when they want to buy back, not buying at nominal values, but buying at the market values, right?
Yeah.
That's your point, right?
Yeah.
I think it's good question actually, Yusuf, because you have to understand that the asset, of course, like the land, like what else, building, maybe they are appreciating assets. Okay, but it will be depreciating as well. For example, like machineries, buses, for example, it will be depreciating asset. So in the case of depreciating asset, the market value will be decreased like the end of the what they call maturity period. But of course, appreciating asset, it will be appreciating in that sense. But what they call is, of course, in the case of depreciating asset is sukuk holders is losing. But in the case of appreciating asset, the sukuk holders is, gaining, as you know, this one actually. But as long as you see what they call is in the practice actually, what they call is Yusuf, most of them is buying back at the nominal values or the par values or face values actually, not at the market values. If they want to buy at market values, just now what they call Ibrahim said actually, if they will buy back at market values, the sukuk holders will become the real owners actually of that asset actually. Okay, so meaning that in that case maybe we have to further consider actually. Okay, but it is good point you are raising, Yusuf. Thank you.
Thank you for your answer.
Point, actually. Okay, good. Khalid.
Brother Khalid, you can unmute yourself. Brother Khalid Yusuf. All right. I think.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Khalid.
Now, alhamdulillah, I'm very much grateful. I want to, first and foremost, I want to commend the presenter, Dr. May Almighty Allah increase him in knowledge, and may Almighty Allah be with him in all his endeavor. So my question is that, how can we get this slide after the presentation, sir?
Thank you. I think I will pass to Ahsan. Ahsan maybe will be shared with you because you registered. So if you are registered, meaning that I think you have the email address with the brother Ahsan. So brother Ahsan will be shared with you, inshallah. Okay.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. There will be last question maybe. There is Yusuf Abdul Wusiu. I think he asked one question. So let me explain to this answer. Let me answer to this question. So option to getting the cash return of the Sukuk project. Can you talk more on the Sukuk? It doesn't mean getting the part of expected project. Okay, very good question actually. See, what they call is, let me go back to the slides. Okay. Okay, this slides actually. So at maturity, I told you just now as well, brother, you see, here actually the sukuk for 10 years actually. Okay, sukuk for 10 years. So at maturity, okay, at maturity, you have option, okay, you have option, what they call this, wait, I just want to make it bigger, but I cannot make it. Anyway, so this called sukuk actually, 10-year sukuk. So at maturity, you have option to convert your money into what they call is, how come I cannot, wait, I just want to click the button. I cannot click the button actually. Okay, okay, good. Okay, now let me click the button. So, good question also. Okay, very fundamental question. So here, let's look at this one. Okay, so we have option here. You see, meaning that any sukuk actually has maturity. Maturity meaning that it can be for 5 years, it can be for 10 years, it can be 15 years, and so on and so forth. But nowadays, actually, there will be what they call this perpetual sukuk as well, actually. And perpetual sukuk is amazing as well. Maybe I want to discuss initially, but after that, it's too much. So maybe in the next few, what they call is maybe seminars, I can share with you actually. So after 15 years later, the sukuk must be expired. Okay, must be expired. So meaning that, I mean, if you want to do like public, if you don't want to do this, you have to give back the money. The sukuk is finished. Okay, but now what we want to do actually at maturity, as you said just now, you still become the what we call is a relevant party of the project actually. So the sukuk here, okay, sukuk here is ending end of the 10 years. So after that there is no more sukuk. So meaning that if you don't want to get the cash, okay, take your cash. You will get the cash, or I give you stocks based, of course, the number of the stocks based on how much you purchase actually. Okay, how much you purchase. So meaning that you get back the cash or you can back the stock. If you can get back the cash, you are finished already. Okay, you are not no more with this project anymore. But if you get the stocks, meaning that you become the from the sukuk holders, you become the stockholders. You got the point or not? Stockholders meaning that you're holding some number of the stocks actually. So at maturity, if you get back the cash, you are finished. No more with the project. If you get the stocks actually, then you become sukuk holders, you become shareholders. Okay, so that will be the process actually. Okay, I hope that my question is clear to you actually. Thank you. Agreed. This slide, all that. Okay, good. Good study on the sukuk exam. Okay, very good. You see, this is what I want as well, dear participant. First, we have to appreciate what we are doing actually. Okay, I think as I will share with you is investment and gradings. Of course, I mean the gradings will be another. Maybe I can find out the right speaker actually. Maybe I can share with brother Ahsan. Okay, there will be very good speaker on this as well, on this topic. Oh, okay. One more thing. If you want to learn more about what they call the sukuk, I want to share with you. There is one what they call website actually. I always share with my students actually. You go to this website. Oh, sorry, guys. IIFM and that sukuk reports. Okay. Maybe I can share this one is here in the chat box. Okay, so I mean, thanks to the Bahrain, actually, the international Islamic financial market, actually, they are doing, you see, each year, they're updating the sukuk. If you want to learn the recent development in the sukuk, you just press it for free. It is like 202 pages, what they call is report as well. And also they're explaining some basics of the sukuk, and their new development in the sukuk. Even they have in Arabic as well, in Arabic also a little bit intro, but most of them in English, but they have like what's happening in the, but of course from this you cannot understand very clearly. Maybe later on, maybe with the brother Ahsan, maybe I can do more presentation on that actually. So with that, I think is how we can connect with you, sir. Okay. I think you can connect with me in LinkedIn. In the LinkedIn, yes. I am Burhan.
I am sharing the LinkedIn of Dr. Burhan in the chat. Please feel free to connect with him.
Okay. So with that, guys, thank you, and thanks for all the good words. Actually, may Allah bless you all, and also may Allah bless our whole the Muslim nations. Actually, if you come to Istanbul, please let me know. Okay, I'm here, inshallah. I'm Turkish citizen actually, so I'm here. If you have you come to Turkey to travel, I mean, let's meet for the coffees or for sign, inshallah. Okay, so thank you, brother Ahsan. With that, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Burhan, for your time. I know you have too many commitments and you're occupied all the time. So I'm very grateful. And before we sign off, we thank all the people who have been attached to us. Like that consistency is very important. For 1 hour, people are listening, and I don't see any drop down in the participants, mashallah. So please follow Dr. Burhan on LinkedIn. Dr. Burhan, before we leave, I would want you to make dua in Turkish language, Uyghur language, for the people of, for all the Muslim Ummah that are in difficulty, including our brothers and sisters, before we sign off, please. Brother Burhan, I can understand. I can understand. I make dua for all the Muslim brothers and sisters who are in difficulty at the moment and facing challenges to survive from the oppressors. We, all of us as an ummah, should remember and do not forget any of them. And this is our responsibilities to raise voice, to talk, to share. And this is the main agenda. Education is a part of it. TAIF Digital Institute support all the initiatives with regards to anything. Things are happening. All of us are busy in our life. We can't sleep hungry. We feel hungry at the end of the day when we sleep. We wake up. I was like, okay, the first thing I want to have a coffee. So those are the things that seems very little. I'm going off topic, but to be honest, I am very connected to all those things. All of us are. Please remember all of us in your prayer. Jazakallah for your time, Dr. Jazakallah everyone for attending the session. Inshallah, we'll be meeting Dr. Burhan in future sessions and try to make the most of him, inshallah, for the benefit of the Ummah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.